Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, right here on the YouTube, the Twitch, and wherever you get your podcasts, audio worldwide. I'm flying solo tonight. I know it's a late show, um, not on the West Coast time like some previous shows, but up in the north here, up in Canada, after Under Siege. So definitely didn't want too much time to go by. I know with everyone's schedule, there probably wouldn't have been any connection until maybe Monday, and we still might do something then. But at least get a quick show up now for those that are still awake. Uh, Team Twitch in the chat. Good to see you, Skull, in there. So hopefully, if you're not catching this live, you can catch it on a repeat. But hey, if you were at the show, maybe you're just getting back. If you're checking this out, feel free to comment, join in the conversation as we review the TNA Plus special Under Siege. I know it was officially sold out. I was battling some traffic getting in, got there just in the nick of time. The doors opened, I think, a little later than they were supposed to. I think they opened maybe about 6:45 or so, or close to 7. So got in there, and no, we'll go through everything regarding the show, all the different matches, maybe some storylines going on. Definitely looks like maybe some things may have been wrapped up, some things are beginning, but we'll see. And let us know what you thought of Under Siege. What were your big takeaways from the show today? And we know there's still news, and we'll get into some of the things that happened on the show based on what we talked about on the review on Thursday night. There's definitely some, like the Ace Austin stuff. He was obviously referenced a few times tonight due to the match, but we'll see what we all think of it. But once again, everybody, thanks for joining. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications for when we go live, which could be anytime, especially on a live show night. Hopefully, everyone was able to see Under Siege because there is a TNA Plus code right now, Siege SIEGE 25 for one free month. So definitely utilize that to see specials like this on the app. But it was live from the CAA Center in Brampton, Ontario. So a new town here for TNA on the outskirts of Toronto. And as we get to the countdown show, the start Under Siege, we get the first appearance of the evening of NXT's Robert Stone. Obviously, for longtime TNA fans, you remember him as Robbie E, but now Robert Stone, and he's now calling himself Sheriff Stone, as him and the TNA Director of Authority, Santino Marella, get into it. That pretty much he's saying he's got the power and Santino doesn't. But obviously Santino's he's pretty much saying he's gonna get his power. He's gonna maintain his power, but we'll see. We get one match on the countdown show, and this has been a feud now that's been going on for months now between Rosemary and Xia Brookside, where Rosemary's been trying to bring her to the dark side, if you will. And she's been hesitant, obviously, to do so. But in this, and we finally saw it. We get where Rosemary goes to the outside. She gets a staple gun. Referee stops her. But then she also has a belt. Remind me of the old Fans Revenge match. So Xia actually does use that and goes all in on going after Rosemary. But then, and you can see the smile on Rosemary's face, especially as the security came down. And I got to say, some of the best selling for a leather strap that I've ever seen. You would have thought this was the hardest, most violent weapon ever used. So it was giving me a good chuckle. But it was, but we saw her embrace this, and we saw a promo a little later to kind of verify that. So we'll see what happens now. Xia has gone that now. Will that be something going forward that she snapped that this is going to be her thing? But Rosemary does get the win because Xia was disqualified. But I think Rosemary was much happier to see Xia actually embrace the darkness. Then we get backstage Tessa Blanchard, Robert Stone, Victoria Crawford talking about the match with Arianna Grace later. So, but actually, yeah, mainly that match. So there's a good build here as we're seeing this, like the unlikely combination of Robert Stone and Tessa Blanchard. Because you saw the connection with Victoria Crawford, but now Robert Stone is kind of that authority figure, managerial piece, which is surprising. But we get to the main show and we get a surprise that we weren't thinking, because they said at the end of the countdown we were going to kick off with AJ Francis, a first class against Mike Santana. But then we see AJ in street clothes with a crutch and KC in his gear. And he says, getting out of his limo, he got the old turf toe, so he can't compete tonight. So in his stay, it will be the truly blessed one, Casey Navarro. So KC does take up the mantle for first class. And I got to say, the fans, I think they were enjoying it. A different, obviously, style match if you're not going to have AJ and Santana at it. But I think KC definitely gave a very good match here to Mike Santana. You even saw he does get the win, Mike Santana, but he was even giving KC the handshake. But then obviously post match, you see he was never had the turf toe. He was fine, AJ Francis. So then he hits Santana when he's back's turned with the crutch. And you can see some hesitation from KC, who then does go in and start kicking and beating on Santana. So just like we've seen Jason Hotch a lot lately with Ali, it seems like KC. So they're putting some little teases maybe. Now, once again, in TNA, I wouldn't expect an immediate payoff, but it could be months from now. And that was like the little inkling you may have got. Good to see you in the chat, Eli. It was fire. There you go. That's not your favorite match. But good win. We know Santana's going there. Obviously, as a devotee of first class, I get it, but still a good showing by KC too. So I thought everyone came out good, and obviously AJ being AJ. We go backstage. We see Eric Young wishing Cody Deaner luck in his upcoming match, and a nice little throwback to longtime fans with the "Don't Fire Eric" storyline. So that was a nice little homage. But yeah, we get it early in the night. I wasn't sure when we would get the match. Eddie Edwards, former two-time world champion, against Cody Deaner, which was going to be a tough task, obviously. And we know right now his contract's expired. Santino made this match. Not a guarantee if he wins the match that he'd get a new deal, but Santino is going to pretty much have the argument to get him a new deal. So, but a lot of back and forth here, some shenanigans for sure. The ring was used, low blow, but in the end, it was Cody Deaner taking a loss here from the Boston Knee Party, even though there were shenanigans. And unless we see something on Thursday or more fallout, it looks like that is the end of the in-ring TNA career of Cody Deaner. Obviously, a long current run, obviously previous runs too. So I got to put a lot of time in the TNA for sure. So kudos to the man that did it for the people. I've always liked Cody, so I definitely give him the thumbs up. Give him a good thumbs up, and we'll see what happens because I'm sure he'll still be doing the backstage role, but we'll see what winds up happening if he is on camera in any means going forward. But if you're going to go out to someone, you go out to Eddie Edwards. Not a bad thing, the heart and soul. But after the match, of course, we get the rest of the system. We get Moose, Myers, and JDC going up to the Deaner, all just kind of calling him a loser and everything. But then we do get Eric Young along with the Northern Armory to come out, and we get unadvertised because we knew we lost the match. So we then get a 6-man tag match because they were all in gear. So it's like, oh, I guess there is another match. So we get an impromptu 6-man tag match, and good to see some more people in the chat. Great to see you. See, we got official Little Silver. I believe Santino versus Robert Stone, formerly Robert E. Robert E, an old TNA back in the day, will face in a match at TNA's over. Winner gets power over TNA's GM. We're definitely going to see something, it seems, coming up. We get some teases later. There was, like, Santino wants a one-on-one match. But then Arianna wants a tag match. And I know even Tom Hannafin gets a little sentimental about that. So we'll see what winds up happening and when that happens, if it's going to be on TV, if it's going to be at Against All Odds. Well, to be determined. Or maybe it's anniversary. You never know. This could keep building. Also saying Cody Deaner deserves to stay in TNA, which TNA made him. Couldn't see him in any other promotion like AEW or WWE. And I agree. I don't think Deaner's leaving. I just think it will be just not in ring, sort of like Tommy Dreamer currently. Good to see John Palmer in the chat. Hey, everyone. I had a lot of buffering issues on the app. Did anyone else have issues? Yeah, let us know. I see Eli saying he did not have issues. So, yeah, if you are having some streaming issues, let us know. Hopefully not many did, but sorry you had this. But now here's probably a little bit of a surprise. Well, first because we got introduced to Hammer, the Honey Badger, because that is the home arena of the Brampton Honey Badgers. So he's in the corner with the Northern Armory, who are obviously face tonight against the system. And probably in what's been surprising me, and that's why I always say in TNA, you never know. Like you look at who's all involved in the match. You have the X Division champion, Moose. But just like with Jeff Hardy previously, he takes the pin. Moose takes the pin in this match to Eric Young. So could it be Eric Young as the next X Division contender? It's just interesting how they're going about that. Because you normally would think, oh, it's going to be somebody else that takes the pin in this match, protect Moose, make him strong. But yet he's losing in these tag matches where he's carrying good pieces of the match. But then he's losing, and that therefore will get somebody an opportunity. But big win for the Northern Armory. Obviously, a lot of patriotic sentiment during this match with the O Canada and everything. So, crowd was into it, no doubt. Prior to the next match, they do highlight in the audience the newest knockouts who just debuted on Explosion. Myla Grace and Harley Hudson, which was very cool to see. Let us know your thoughts on the latest knockouts. I was definitely, I saw that match obviously, and I'm very impressed. I think they both can be big factors in the division going forward. So definitely think they are welcome additions, no doubt. Now, here's one that definitely I was looking forward to, did not disappoint. It's the match by Elegance. Or as I told someone nearby that said, what kind of match is this? It's an elegant hardcore match. Can't go wrong with that. But let's see. We got Critical Sting loading. On commentary, Hannafin said if Moose is champ past Thursday, he's the third longest reigning X Division champion. So that single to me, he gets pinned to trigger a title match soon. Not wrong. And as we're going over to Eli, the Knockout Tag Team Championship match was a banger, no doubt. I think adding the stipulation now, obviously, there was the match by Elegance stipulation, but also it's do or die. It's do or die for Spitfire, where if they don't capture the titles back, they will disband. So, a lot on the line in this match. No DQs, no countouts. But you get everything. You get hairspray involved. You get all kinds. You get the kendo stick. You get tables. You get everything in this match, and you get the Iceman doing his thing. Very amusing. I think everybody in coming out to the Mounties. They always do it right, Elegance, and definitely they always get their man. So good to see the. If they had dropped it that quick, I didn't know what to think of the Knockout Tag titles, but they do get the win. So now, obviously, there's a disband of Spitfire, which is now going to be interesting because they definitely need some tag teams because that's obviously one of their featured teams now, no more. But they'll obviously now be filled into the division there. So we'll see. We'll see if they put some other roster members together for teams or if they do bring in anybody from the outside. So, but big win. All right, now we get what I mentioned earlier, that Xia Brookside backstage, that she snapped, that she went there. Whatever happens next is on Rosemary. So she's kind of letting her know. So be interesting to see. Here's one that obviously had a lot of people talking because this is the match that Ace Austin was supposed to be in, but he's now out with injury. But it is the Order 4 that they're calling themselves now, which is Mustafa Ali, Press Secretary Steelz, and the Great Hands of Hotch and Skyler against the Rascalz, Indi Hartwell, and the Mystery, which was going to be Ace Austin. Now, this one was, I'd say, amusing because if it was Ace Austin and there's a contract and he's not signed and he's gone and all these things that could be happening with him, it does seem like it was last minute because, okay, who could fill in? I know we're talking on the show. Could it be another Rascalz? Could it be Myron Reed? Could it be Jake something, who we know is coming back again, healthy? Where would they go with this? Now, storyline-wise, it did make sense. And I even saw him advertised for Sunday's Border Brawl show, but it was the return of Champagne Singh. Champagne Singh, not happy with his previous employer and joining now with the Rascalz. But he is, he let everyone know, Frampton native. But obviously the crowd initially did not know. And it's been a little while, obviously, before, because that was Ali's pre-contracted run. that he was, but he was obviously a mainstay with him for a while. So in the grand scheme of things, storyline wise, it made sense. But if you were looking for like a big mystery surprise, um, like people always will go expecting too much. It's like, oh, they're going to have this huge name show up or something. But if you're expecting that, then you'll always be disappointed. But I think storyline wise, if you follow TNA, it did make a lot of sense. But it was interesting because we have not seen, I don't know if we've seen a face Champagne Singh or Raj Singh. But obviously, notice very early, the Order 4 has their own shirts, custom merch. Usually, when you get custom merch, you ain't going to lose. And that was the case here. Cool spots. Obviously, they did kind of the spot where everybody locks up with each other and you think they're going to do like maybe a suplex or something like that. But then they wound up having Tasha and Indi actually climb on top of them to do a move, which was something a little more innovative that they don't normally see. So I thought that was a nice spot. But then at the end where Ali takes out Hartwell outside the ring, like it looked rough. So they did get the win, and obviously post match, you still have the same thing where Ali's going after Singh. Tasha actually tries to stop him, but gets pushed to the floor. So then Hotch is having an issue with it. So I know they keep saying he's just like unhinged. He's lost his reason, but you can definitely tell they're having some issues at how far he's going. So will this blow up in their face or no? We'll see. We get backstage Santino Marella, and now obviously they've been acknowledging his daughter, Arianna Grace. He's getting her all ready for the big match against Tessa. Then we get, and this is a big one, the injury report presented by Bioflex. And there's a lot to go over in that report. Obviously, updates on Macklin, Ace Austin, but then even other individuals that they talk about Trick Williams and things like that. So a whole bunch of with different guitar shots and things like that. But we do know that Macklin is scheduled. The match that was supposed to be on this show face Matt Cardona defending his international title. So hopefully Thursday you can expect it. Then we get a match that I think we all thought could have went either way, like in being, oh, this might be rough, or this could be a good match, and that is Tessa Blanchard versus Arianna Grace. Now we see initially Tessa comes out first alone, but then Arianna comes out with Santino and Robert Stone. We get a lot of Robert Stone tonight. He comes out and he bans Santino from ringside because he doesn't have a manager's license, which is an old wrestling trope. But man, I haven't seen that used in a long time. You don't got a manager license, you got to go. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And obviously the crowd was into this one because we know when you get Tessa in a match, you're going to have the crowd involved. But I thought Arianna, like she didn't do a ton in the match, but I thought what she did do, she looked definitely decent doing it. Like nothing crazy. And then I think Tessa didn't go too far. Like she wasn't trying to just do a lot of crazy stuff. And I know they kind of maybe teased that earlier. You can tell this was the first salvo in a repeat feud. Like there's probably going to be that, obviously, a tag match coming up. But I'm looking forward to see more. I think Ariana's got definitely a lot of potential because obviously she's been talking. She's a great talker, has the look, and in ring, I think you can definitely. I'm sure she needs to just get more and more action in the ring. And if you work with people like Tessa, that ain't gonna hurt you. That's only gonna help you. But then Santino does come back out. Of course, we get old Robert Stone there, and he's giving her the old toss. And that's followed up by the knockout title match. Victoria Crawford against Masha Slamovich. And obviously we have Robert Stone out there for this one. And he is all over this match with distractions and stuff, like the title coming into play, trying to do everything he can to try to get this a win for Victoria Crawford. And I'll tell you, the more and more I watch Victoria Crawford in ring and also just her actions and promos and stuff, I am a fan. I am a fan. I only saw her a little bit over the years from afar. But seeing her up close and even just seeing her like after the match, like just interacting, no camera, like with like fans at ringside, like kids and all, she's A-okay by me. I think that's the type of things you like to see. Like that's kind of what I come to expect at TNA shows. And obviously she was a WWE person for a long time. But I think that's great to see. So I was a little bit rooting for her to at least do well in the match. But obviously you had a lot of outside shenanigans going on. But we did get, because there was obviously a ref bump. And I don't know for sure if that was Ref Alice's first ref bump in TNA. If it is, congratulations on the first ref bump. I think it might be. But obviously Masha does retain. And after the match, she calls out her next challenger. She says she's noticed somebody that deserves a chance, and that's Lei Ying Lee, who comes out. But of course, Robert Stone's not having any of this, and he says she has to earn that opportunity this Thursday. I have not looked yet. I don't know if they put anything on the socials. If not, I'm sure we'll see in the next day or so what that means. Like, what's going to be is that NXT talent coming in? Is that Victoria Crawford? We'll see. But he's definitely going to throw some obstacles in Lei Ying Lee's way. We do get the commentary letting us know about Battleground on Sunday, where the TNA World Championship will be defended for the first time on a WWE Premium Live event, with Joe Hendry defending against Trick Williams. Obviously, as a original ECW guy, like the way they paid tribute to Sabu with a lot of the footage from his work, and obviously a lot of comments and interviews from people that worked with him over the years. So I thought that was a very and I think that's the key, because obviously I've said it on here. Sabu, when he debuted in ECW, I was there in the building, and he was my favorite ECW wrestler when he started wrestling, because he was just so different. And obviously, there's not a show goes by today they don't hear tables, and he made tables the norm in wrestling. So he definitely did change it. So definitely rest in peace, Sabu. We got tag team titles on the line here. The Nemeths, the newly crowned tag team champions, the Nemeths, against, I guess this is the rematch clause, but it's not the Hardys, because it's only one Hardy. And we've talked about it where they've acknowledged that Jeff cannot go there. But the Hardy in spirit, Leon Slater, taking over the mantle for Jeff in this match. And I think obviously Leon, I think this has been a great kind of springboard for him in TNA, getting matched up with the Hardys and really finding his place here. Definitely doing some moves circa vintage Extreme Hardys. So a natural fit in this type of match. But I thought they did a great job back and forth here, where they were definitely. You definitely got the Nemesis playing the heels. You got Ryan, Mock, and Jeff all the time during the match, and there were some times where it was close, like doing the old school poetry in motion into the Leon staple of jumping over the ring post. That was a cool move. And then obviously doing the whole, instead of the normal Hardy finish, you can have him kind of tweak it a little bit, but they did not, weren't able to get the pin on that. And obviously you had to have Nick hit his finisher more than once, but not unexpected. Obviously, now the Nemesis, who we know are going to be featured more and more by TNA, are kind of having their run. But I think obviously once we get Matt and Jeff back together, I think we're going to see something. And who knows, maybe that will be Slammiversary. Maybe it'll be before then. But I think you will see another Hardy run before this is all over. We do get a backstage where Santino, we talked about a little earlier, wants his match against Robert Stone, but then Arianna's like, no. She wants to team with him to go against Stone and Tessa in a tag team match. We'll see if it happens. He's going to talk to the higher ups to make it happen. And well, let me catch up with the chat here because we're about to get to the main event, and I don't want to miss anything here. Let's see. About Victoria Crawford, really nice. Yeah, I haven't really talked to her, but just her interactions with people, I definitely approve. Say hello to Gary there. Swag fan. Okay. All right. Let's get into the main event, everyone. So, the big tag team main event. Trick Williams of NXT, along with the so-called king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian, against Elijah and TNA World Champion Joe Hendry. So, big tag team match with implications as we head into their singles match at Battleground. And this one, I almost could tell. Like, I was saying it just as a win. I'm like, are they going to find a way for Trick and Joe not to really interact in this match? And that's exactly how the match played out. It was like any time they were going to go face to face or really go at it, obviously heel Frankie was tagging himself in to avoid that, for it would have to wait till Sunday. So they had very limited interaction in this match. So a lot of heavy lifting by Elijah in that instance. But in the end, the team of obviously Joe Hendry and Elijah, they get the win here. Obviously, Kazarian takes the pin, so it does leave everything on the table for Sunday. And I know J-Bone and all, he thinks there's going to be a title change. I know a lot of people are starting to talk about it. I think Joe's going to retain here and continue to build until Slammiversary. But you never know. You never know. It's in the world of wrestling, anything could happen. see Swag Fan here saying I actually missed the show. How would you say it went? I would say for a plus special, this was probably more story focused of a show than a work weight rate match type show, which some of them are. Like some of them are just like you'll be like, oh wow, those matches were as good as any show, like even the big four, some of them. This one, there were some good matches, but I think this was definitely more storyline advancement or paying off as they get into Against All Odds. Like stories probably kick off as we get into the whole season. But yeah, I think that the surprise is how often Ace Austin was mentioned. Now, I will get into a little bit of news because the timing's interesting. But Ace Austin was announced for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling in Montreal. Now, it's not like it's going against TNA that day. So realistically, he could do both or other things, but the timing is definitely interesting. So we'll see. But like I've always said with other people, until I see Ace view somewhere, I won't say that that's a given. I would, especially they went almost extra all in on mentioning Ace tonight, which if he was gone, not to be seen again, I almost feel that we'll see if that changes over the next week or so. Because if they do like a quick turnaround, then maybe that is the case. But they went really heavy into a guy if he's not there to really talk about him tonight. So we'll see. But I know he is out indefinitely is how they kind of phrased it. But once again, I know it's a late night for everybody. So this is a quick review of Under Siege. No Steven Seagal. No Erica Laniak tonight. But a lot of great TNA action. So hopefully you got to watch. I know not everyone here was able to watch it. Hopefully, if not, TNA Plus, you can go watch it. And once again, if you don't have TNA Plus, there is a free month where you can watch this and everything else in the TNA library with the code SIEGE, SIEGE 25. One word. That's SIEGE 25. Siege 25. So thanks everyone for coming out late on a show night. The timing is more than coincidental. I don't disagree with you, Singh. I think there's something going on there. So we'll see what plays out the next couple of days. I'm sure there'll be some Fallout news without spoilers. And then obviously Sunday there's a big match happening. So and then there's Battle Brawl too. So it's still a big wrestling weekend. So hopefully you can all stay tuned. I'm thinking, talking to J Bone, we may try to do something Monday night. Maybe out for after the cookouts and all for everyone. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably get more feedback on Under Siege along with the Border Brawl and anything else you guys want to talk about. But if you didn't catch this live, feel free to media and you can hit the social medias. Hit we talk Impact. Let us know. Let us know what you thought of the show. Favorite matches, what you like, what you didn't like, and what you want to see going forward as we get Against All Odds and Slammiversary. But thanks everybody again for joining me here, and we'll be seeing you real soon. Probably, like I said, maybe by the end of the weekend or at the beginning of next week. You won't have to wait till Thursday. So thanks everybody. We'll see you again real soon, and have a good weekend and a good Memorial Day, because I probably will not see any of you until beyond that. So we will be about to shut this down. Okay, here we go. All right. Good night, everybody.